y'all. My name is Jasmine Jones, and I am a licensed clinical social worker. And you are now watching Black Girl, a Therapist in the Wild. And this little show I like to call Therapist Sips and Review. And today we are reviewing one battle after another, and we are sipping on sake with some Kool-Aid juice squeezer in it because it tastes like vinegar without it. How y'all doing? And just because I wanted to, this is my new friend. Her name is Shirley. She's pink. It's magical, and I love it. It just is, and I just wanted everybody to see my new best friend. Like, it's just, you just swing it, and it's just so. This is gonna be because I just got it today. I don't care. It's magical and shit. So, anyways, don't be mad at me for this. So Sinners walked so one battle after another could run, and I know they probably filmed at the same time and whatever, and it was released in the same year and whatever, but no, when your niggas in your community objectify you, it makes it even more so doubly okay for the white man to objectify you. And I think I'm more upset with Sinners because Sinners kind of drew you into this space with history and with color grading and with storytelling to make you complacent. So when they killed off the two black bitches in the movie and this nigga walked off with a white woman, you just forgot, kind of were okay with that part. You just kind of were like, oh, well, like they played their part. They did what? No, nigga. No. And what made me want to watch this movie, because I didn't want to watch this movie. I didn't want to watch this movie at all after I saw a review and someone said this bitch basically fell in love with a white supremacist, and then this white supremacist then tried to chase their child down and kill her. I was like, absolutely not. This is just, I don't even know if this is trauma porn. I don't know what this is. I'm not watching this. But then what made me want to watch it is some movie review page posted this meme of a Sinners, right? And basically said that the white bitch in the movie was the best part of the movie. And I was just like, yep. That's what happens when you walk up with a white bitch. Because the white people, you want to be inclusive with the white folks, and you forget that they're oppressors and they're colonizers and shit like that, and that you can't be inclusive. It's like when the Israelis went over to Palestine and they were inclusive and they were trying to give them a place to live, the Palestinians were, and then they slowly but surely ate that motherfucker up like the parasites they were. It's like that. And so white people aren't watching that movie and saying, oh, look at all the black culture and shit like that, especially not the white people in power. They're looking at that movie and only seeing that this nigga walked off with a white bitch, and because we don't respect black men, we can just put ourselves in that place of that black man and say that we walked off with a white bitch. Yes, God. And so, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the only people if they got nominated for awards and shit in the award seasons, if the only people that won awards for that movie was the white people from the movie. Like, the bitch got best supporting actress and nobody else won awards. I wouldn't be surprised, because these are white folks. Why you keep acting surprised? And yeah, niggas be like, well, they made money, and it's not about, if that's all it is for you, it is what it is. Dignity, self-respect, girl. And then I also started to get a hint of it when I would see like merch pages, like merch stores that sell like comic book t-shirts and stuff like that. They would have like t-shirts for the movie, and it would only be the white people from the movie on the t-shirt. That was earlier in the year. I was just like, maybe I try. I said, maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe it's just, But the thing is that because white folks control the system that you are feeding into, I wouldn't be surprised if the white people that control the award systems that you're feeding into, they chose to only let the white people from that movie win any awards in the award season. I would just not be fucking surprised, not even a smidgen. I don't want that to happen. I'm just saying, I know my oppressor. I know my monster. And so that shit made me watch one battle after another, because now we have the white man objectifying us fully. And I say Sinners is worse because it made you complacent. It lied to you from the beginning. that this was something for black people to relish in when you're gonna murder the main black bitches, not give the voodoo bitch even a slight background story, except for she does voodoo and she was sitting there in that shack in stasis waiting for this nigga to come back. But the white woman has all, my mom used to take care of you as kids, and I'm married to, we know more about this white bitch background than we do this black woman, except that she does voodoo and she helps the community, and that's about it. She's of service. Like all the bitches were of service to these niggas, but there was more depth of character in that white hole than it was in all the black ones. And then you killed the black ones off, and I just, so I feel like that's worse because I feel bamboozled with one battle after another. You know what that shit is from fucking jump, nigga. You know what it is. So let's get into it. So we got Tiana Taylor, and she's in this like revolutionary group called like the French 24 or 17 or whatever the fuck, some number. And so she's over here trying to break some immigrants out of an immigration camp with the rest of these white people and some niggas, right? And Leonardo DiCaprio is a part of it. I just am getting Cowardly Lion from him from jump. Like I just feel like he's not all in it to win it from jump, but he's going along and he's in a group and they fucking, right? So they're together, and like what happens is she basically finds the main dude that was holding up the folks at the immigration camp, and she basically is like holding a gun on this nigga, Sean Penn, Lockjaw, that's what his name is. Just why they keep using the same name for these racist army niggas? You got, I think, wasn't there a Lockjaw in Avatar with the blue niggas and shit, right? And she holding a gun on him, and then she like basically like telling him to jack off so he can get a boner. And I just, everything is either she's like a warrior bitch or she is a Jezebel. There's no in between. She's so objectified that she can't even connect to her own child when she's pregnant. She up here shooting guns while she's like 9 months pregnant with the back reverb and shit going back against her stomach. And I was just like, this is how these white niggas see us. Like, they don't see us as people. They don't see. That's why I had to do Abbott Elementary first. I had to soothe my soul and remind myself that some people out there somewhere see black women as fucking people, and they are leading and they're doing something. Because, and that's why I always say, that's a lot of weight to put on one show and one cast when there's not too many options out there to see black women just being treated like human beings and shit. Like, you got Harlem on Prime, that's a good show. Insecure, you go back and watch that old episodes and stuff, but there's not like, it's a handful. It's not too many where you have all these different options of seeing black women, especially black women dating black people, whether it's queer or it's straight dating black people. Like, you don't get to see that often and in a wholesome fucking way. So that's a lot of weight to put on like these handful of shows when these studios don't even want to be funding this shit. So the fact they keep getting funded, they are blessed by Jesus. In the name of God. And I just hope that they make it last as long as they can stand it. I'm not even gonna be like, no, they need to go on forever. No, these are human beings that have an art craft, and they probably want to stretch their arms a little bit with their art craft, and so I'm not gonna hold that against them. But I'm gonna be sad, just like when Insecure went off and I did that video and I was sobbing on the last episode of Insecure. I was just crying. It's just like, we're never going to see this again. Lo and behold, Abbott Elementary came along. So there you go. So basically, she's with Leonardo DiCaprio. They get out of the little immigrant place, and, she is basically secretly seeing the white supremacists that she held up in the little immigrant place on the side in secret. He's like stalking her, scoping her out, got the scope on her and just going up and down her torso, not even her face, just let's get some Sarah Bartman shit going up and down her torso while he's scoping. And I just, what's going on? Like, is the white people just not see it? They don't see us as human beings. They don't. It's so gross. It's so. You got this one person on the team, and her name is Jungle Pussy, and no, because I know who she is, I listen to her music, that's a real artist name, and she's a rapper, but it don't mesh with this movie, especially when the white people say her name. And the fucked up part too is like when she gets in the car after the whole immigration raid and shit like that, like she's on top, she's kissing on Leonardo, right? And like she gonna ask him, do you like black girls? Do you like black girls? And he's like, I love black girls. And I'm just, what the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking? I'm okay. Okay, I'm tired. I just, at least, but from jump, we know what it is. We know what it is. We heard it from other people. We know what the fuck it is. This is just some movie where black women play robots, sex toys, robots, warrior bots. They're not people. And so, like, it's up to you to either continue it or to walk away from it or whatever. I just, oh God, I hated it. This was the worst movie I've ever seen in my whole. It was messy. That's why I like him, because him is straight to the point. Like, y'all, every time I see some bad review on him, it's always some bullshit about like, oh, that script was bad. What was bad about it? There's no specific, oh, that script was bad. What was bad about it? What are the specific things that were bad about the script? What was it? What? Because it was pretty straightforward to me. This nigga was groomed since childhood, and then into some weird ass football cult situation. These niggas came for him, and then they tried to get the other nigga who was going crazy off of white supremacy to make this nigga crazy off of white supremacy. And this nigga got the devil demon power in him, and he killed all the white people that was trying to make him crazy off of white supremacy and stuff. I don't. Very straightforward, very to the point. Maybe it's my neurodivergency. I just like straightforwardness. I don't like when you're trying to pretend to be something you're not. You're trying to pretend to be an activist type movie where you're trying to show shit about racism and shit like that. And like, but you got all this shit in here where the black women don't even have any depth of character. They're just these sex robots and shit. I hated it. I just despise that fucking movie to the depths of my soul. I do. It's disgusting. It's just porn. It's literally white man fetish porn on the screen. That's why it got an 8 point whatever the fuck on IMDb. It is. And that's how Sinners ended up being. Some white man fetish porn. But they put it at the very end of the movie so you can be placated into like, man, the dress and the history and the color grading and the gods from Africa and shit. And so all of that is more important than the fact that these black women that were supposed to be a part of the show and was supposed to be a major part of the show were murdered. And this nigga walked off with the white woman of choice. I don't understand what people, you know what? I'm not trying to take people's toys. I am not. But it makes me feel crazy that nobody else can see it. Maybe because people like being placated. Maybe because, and I've seen like black men cape for this fucking movie and shit because they objectify. Like, that's why I had to bring up Sinners, because black men are caping for this girl. Trying to sit up here and explain it away, talking about, well, the director wanted to show how white men are passive and they just allow, white supremacy to happen, and they'll talk shit about it, but not do. And the white people that are in control are not seeing that, stupid. They are seeing black women, white man porno. That's what they're seeing. And they're in control of shit. You're not in, the black people aren't in control of shit because we don't even like ourselves. Because if we liked ourselves, these black women wouldn't even be in this motherfucking movie looking like this. I'm tired. There's no depths of character for these people. So anyways, she ends up like doing some espionage. I don't even care about the espionage missions or whatever the fuck they go. It doesn't matter to me. I don't give a fuck. And here come this army nigga up behind her. They fuck in the bathroom or some shit, and she ends up pregnant. And so she passed the baby off as Bob, and just the name that they gave Leonardo DiCaprio, Bob. I'm tired. I'm just exhausted. I'm trying. So she fucks this man, falls in love with this man, and then she goes on another mission I think after having the baby, because she has like postpartum and she can't relate to her child because like she doesn't relate to herself as a human being. So she can't relate to her child as a human being. So she gets jealous of her child, of her husband paying so much attention to her child. And so she is mad about it, and she goes on another espionage mission, and then white people capture her and shit, and so they're taking pictures with her. They're like, oh, we caught the bitch. She like giving the middle finger and all this other shit, and like, oh, God, I hate it. And so the white man basically tells her that he will put her in witness protection. So but no, she asked this white man to help get her out of this so she doesn't have to go to jail, right? So this white man basically puts her in witness protection if she rats on everybody, and she rats on every motherfucking body, and they killed mostly everybody on her team, nigga. And I was just like, even a black man on her team is with a white woman. I was just, girl, and we didn't see him for too long. We didn't we didn't see him for too long. Regina Hall is a part of the team, but she just, girl, we don't barely see Regina Hall. She's just there to like shuttle this little light-skinned girl around, and I'm trying to get through this because it was so. And the thing that pisses me off too is, so she basically goes into witness protection. Everybody thinks she's dead, and Bob and the little mixed baby go off into the ether and hide in the woods in the cabin, right? The thing that pisses me off is the white supremacist dude, Lockjaw. He wants to join this white supremacist governmental secret group called the Christmas Adventurers, and I was just like, they're just stupid. But the thing is that pissed me off is they did the same thing in him. They literally made these white supremacist secret groups look like they are stupid and we shouldn't be afraid of them. Like, why would you be called Christmas Adventurers? Like, when they actually meet up in their little hideout bunker underneath some old white woman's house, they like are up here talking about hell Christmas, and I'm just, hell Saint Nick. That's what they were doing. They were like, hell Saint Nick, and I was just like, tell me what about that motherfucking script for him was bad. I want bullet points. I want deep explanations on why that script was bad. You tell me. I don't want you to just say the script was bad. I don't want you to say it was a fever dream. I don't want you to say it's too short. Give me bullet point by bullet point by bullet point what made that movie bad. Because this shit is some garbage. Like, hot, rank garbage. They did the same thing. And I think why it works is because in him, what happened in that movie is that you only saw white people as accessories outside of the main plot. For most of the movie, it's these two niggas in this house fighting against white supremacy, and all you saw is black people figuring it out. And then at the end of the movie, white people are still just accessories, and then this nigga kills them all. In this movie, white people are part of everything. In Sinners, white people was there all the way from the beginning to the end of the movie. They were centered. Even in Get Out, white people were still centered. They basically just othered those white people in Get Out in their minds when they were watching that movie as them as those super racist white people. That's not us. They're funny. They didn't take that shit to heart, love. You thought they did though, huh? Or else we wouldn't have the president we have right now. If these things that you're trying to preach while centering whiteness still by having these white people play main characters in these motherfucking movies where they are manipulating and affecting black people in fucked up ways. You thought that centering them in that way was going to be inclusive and they were going to change. These are oppressors. What's wrong with you motherfuckers? But in him, they don't do that. And y'all hate that shit. Y'all niggas, even black people hate that shit because you're so used to seeing whiteness centered. You're so used to seeing whiteness throughout the whole situation, and they're a part of the main story, and they're this and they're that. But to see them as an accessory hanging off of your arm like a fucking purse, and you can do whatever the fuck you want with that. You can keep it, you can kill it, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. You don't like to see that because you don't know what to do with that because y'all don't want to do that in real life. Y'all don't want to stop centering white folks in real life, and that's the problem, and that's why you didn't like him. I don't care what you're talking about. So anyways, like, she had this baby, and then like she got mad at Bob because Bob wants her to stay home and be a mother and show up for their child, and she's like, no, you stop paying attention to me, and I want to go on missions. And so she goes on the mission. She gets caught and shit, and then they kill all her people. So Bob and her little mixed baby got to go into hiding, right? And then this nigga over here with trying to get into the Christmas Avengers. I'm tired. This so stupid. And so they asking him all these white supremacist questions and talking about like you need to be the perfectly whiteness white for us in order to join. And he can't have no little mixed babies running around. He can't have fucked a black person, knowing that these motherfuckers probably have fucked black people and got the same fetish that he got and shit. They not gonna say that shit out loud though. They're not gonna say that shit out loud. They the same as him. They're not gonna say that shit out loud though. So basically he goes on a mission to find his little mixed baby and kill her off so that he can join the Christmas adventure niggas. I don't know. I don't know how you want me to see. Y'all niggas not gonna like me. This is why I be like, I want a husband. I want him to be black. The niggas don't love themselves enough to be with me. They don't love blackness to the soul. They don't love it all the way down to the soul of them. They want to always involve these white shenanigans, and I don't like. It's like watching Abbott Elementary. Yes, there's white characters. They still are kind of like side characters though to the black characters, and you can tell like they're a part of the story, but they're not like centered as like the main, like how they feel affects everybody else and shit like that. They're just there and they're just a part of it, and like you can, it's just like being outside in the world and you got a mixture of people and shit like that, and like y'all are interacting in a wholesome way and shit. It's just, that's what it is. This shit is like, no, like black women are like cars that we can drive and we're gonna put our penis in them and do whatever we want to them, and they're just accessories to us. I hate this movie. I do. But at least it tells you the truth in the beginning. That's the only thing I can give it. It tells you the truth from jump. It doesn't lull you in with all this stuff about black history and fucked up makeup shit about the, Native Americans and vampires and the plot and all this other stuff, and then you gotta wade through the waters until you realize this is the truth. No, just from jump. And so I knew what it was, and I was just like, okay, I know what this is. I knew what it was when I read that little synopsis. I know what it is. I just, girl, la 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 la. I'm trying to get through this movie. I am. It's so hard. It's so very difficult to get through this fucking movie. So anyways, like he then goes on a manhunt for the little mixed baby and the dad, the Bob. And it's like 16 years later, so this little mixed baby is like, basically now she's being parentified for her dad. They live in a cottage in the woods off the outskirts of some town. And she is the parent to her father, who is smoking pot all the time and laying on the couch and sleeping all the time and can't take care of himself. And that's the vehicle that she plays. That's the role that she plays. There's nothing outside. She got some friends. They look like they in the LGBTQ community. And she gets to go to a dance one time with her friends until these white people come and try to kidnap her. But Regina Hall gets to her first and she shuttles her. She's like the nanny. That's the part she plays. She's the warrior nanny for this little mixed girl. And like, I just, oh God, I hate this. Because no, this part was even more just gross and weird and disgusting. So now we're making the Latino people like caricatures and shit like that, because they call Bob and tell him that the people is coming looking for him and the little light skinned girl, right? And he's like, oh my, and he don't remember none of the code words or none of the stuff he's supposed to say on the phone so that he can figure out where she's at or none of that. So like basically he has to escape his house on some hole in the ground and find her, right? And so he has this little burner phone, but he has to charge it or some shit. I don't know. Like, and like he goes to the dojo where she does karate and shit, and like gets the dojo master, and he's Latino, and these people are in this town rounding up all. So that's how he's able to cover up the fact that he's looking for this little mixed girl, right? Is that he got all the troops to go to that town and round up all the Latino immigrants and shit like that, so he can have an excuse to look for this little girl, right? So like he's being shut while this Latin man is trying to help his people hide from these white people. He also has to shuttle around this white man who's like complacent, who is like sad, who is focused on his own issues and not paying attention to barely paying attention to the issues of the people around him. He just keeps saying "Viva la Revolution" while he's being shuttled around and taken care of by this other person of color. And I just, because y'all thinking white people are gonna watch this and be like, yeah, that's how our people are. We need to fix us ourselves. And oh God, they're not. They're not. We have to love ourselves, and we just have to love ourselves. That's all it is. We have to love ourselves, and we have to show up for ourselves. And in people seeing us showing up for ourselves as black people, and not, I don't care, I'm strict in any way showing up for these white people, they gonna figure it out. Like, y'all not invited to the cookout. None of y'all. I don't care what you say, how you say it, what you do, how you protect us in any fucking way. You're not invited to the cookout until we love ourselves enough to kick your ass out if you say some stupid shit, because we don't love ourselves enough to invite white people to the cookout and then have them up in there doing little microaggressions and saying weird ass shit. And then what, you just gonna let them stay? You just gonna let them? We don't love ourselves enough. We don't. I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care, because these black women, these beautiful black women, would not have done this movie if they loved themselves enough. I don't care how much money. I don't care how much money, because this is the representation that you're putting out into the world that white people and other people of color are eating up. And they're not going to go straight to, oh, white people are crazy. They're going to go to, oh, see, I knew black bitches like to fuck. Ha ha ha, that was so funny when she said, do you like black bitches? I just like they watched Sinners and they said, oh, this is such a marvelous cinematography, story, plot, all of it. It doesn't matter that this black woman didn't have any background story except to service this nigga, and she died from this nigga. This nigga killed her. It doesn't, none of that. The other bitch they set up to be a fucking pervert pedophile fucking around with teenage boys and shit like that, and then she died too. But the white bitch got to live though. She had to walk off into the moonlight with her dark prince. And then this shit like this is why I didn't like Sinners, because motherfuckers take shit like that and be like, oh, it's okay to denigrate black women, it's okay to make them feel like shit, it's okay to objectify black women. It's their men do it though, so obviously like we can do it, like we can just keep doing it and shit, like we've always been doing it since slavery, since before slavery. I don't have it for the fuckery and the foolishness and the disgustingness of it all. Anyways, so like he's running around, and I hate how they represent the Latin people, because basically it's like, when you watch those movies, those spy movies, and they're like in the Middle East and stuff like that, and you got all these people of color just running around them screaming, and you don't know what they're saying. They're just in the background they're running through a street, and out the windows are Middle Eastern people just yelling and stuff like that. It's like that. It's just like noise. They made them just seem like noise in the background, while this white man was centered by everybody. Everybody was trying to figure out how to help this white man, how to do stuff for this white man, how to make this white man get to where he needs to go and shit like that. Like, yeah, the dojo man still like helped his people. Like when he finally got his phone working and was able to get to, get the location of his daughter and shit like that. And the dojo leader left him with the nigga with the skateboard, a younger nigga, to take him where he needs to go. And then this nigga fell off the roof and got caught. And I was just like, that's what you get. That's what you get. I don't. It's so hard to get through this. So then he fell off the roof and got caught right after the dojo leader left him with the little white boy or the little Latin boy and stuff on the skateboard and shit to help him get to where he needs to go. And like basically he gets caught, but they don't know it's him. And while that's happening, Regina Hall she's the nanny, she's the babysitter. She has a little mixed girl, right? So she takes her to this nunnery in the wilderness somewhere in the desert. And basically there are a bunch of black nuns that grow marijuana and stuff. I think they're trying to be reminiscent of them Latina nuns that be growing marijuana, but there might be a black nunnery somewhere where they grow up marijuana too. So I don't know. Uh, I just seen the one where it was the Latina nuns and shit, and they was growing the marijuanas and shit at the nunnery and shit. So I don't know. So like they go there, and then the nuns like looking at her like she crazy, the daughter, because basically like they know her mom's a rat. And so they calling her baby rat. And this whole time, her dad's been telling her mom's a hero and she did all this and that, blah, 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 blah. And the daughter, like, finally learns that her mom's a rat. She ratted on everybody. She fell in love with a white supremacist. I'm tired. And even the daughter don't got no personality. She's either a parent or she is a fighter. She's a little warrior. She ain't got no personality out there. We saw one slight glimpse of her personality when she was with her friends. That was for one small scene and nothing else. I don't even know like the personality of Tiana Taylor's character, like outside of her being a Jezebel or being, you know, like a warrior bitch. Like I don't know what she liked to do for fun outside of that. It seemed like the only thing she liked to do for fun is fuck. Like because that's how we all are. We're just, oh, I'm glad I watched Abbott Elementary and did that shit before this. Girl, just, she likes to read highlights at the dentist's office and like do the little puzzles in the highlights magazine because I like to do the little puzzles in the highlights magazine too, nigga. Like, you got to do them in your head though because that's the communal book. You can't write in a communal book, but you know, I just hate this fucking place. So anyways, like she up at the nunnery learning more about her mom, and then they get this nigga out of the little immigration situation because he just got arrested by the police that do the immigration. They don't know that that's the nigga, right? So they get him out of that place. Like the dojo dude gets his people to get him out of that place by having him say he has diabetes, right? And so he ends up in the hospital, and then they get him snuck out the hospital, and then they in the desert going to the nunnery trying to find this little girl, right? Well, so what happened was they had kidnapped this little girl, or they had stormed the little girl's dance, her little homecoming dance, right? Lined up all the kids because that's where he fucked up, was when he was fucking with them little white kids, because that's what the Christmas Avengers was talking about. Like that's how they found out, because he was fucking with them white kids at that homecoming dance and basically sat up there and interrogated her friends until he found out that she had a secret cell phone. Her dad didn't want her to have a cell phone ever, because they can trace that shit, and she had a secret cell phone because she ain't never experienced that stuff that he be talking about and he be paranoid about, and she's a child, so she had a cell phone. And so like finally one of her little friends gives up the phone number, and they call the phone number and it rings while she in the car with Regina Hall. And so basically they find out what road that Regina Hall is driving on, and Regina Hall throws the phone out the window and stuff, but like it's too late, they already know what road you on and shit. And so like they go and they find them, right? The army dude goes and finds them, Lockjaw, whatever the fuck his name is, goes and finds this little girl at the nunnery with Regina Hall, right? And then while he's at the nunnery, he gonna put out his quick heavy duty DNA test talking about if these lines match up, you're in trouble, but if they don't, then you know you're fine. And like, you know what the fuck is funny too? Okay, so Tiana Taylor, while she's in witness protection, she like dips on this nigga and goes to Mexico and lives her life out there, right? Before she leaves, she gonna put on the window, "This pussy don't pop for you." And just, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay. I didn't pay for this movie. I didn't. I'm not gonna let you know my sources, but bitch, like, because absolutely not. I'm not giving money to this. This is denigration and defecation of white women. This is black women, and I am not putting my hard-earned money into this. I don't I don't know what you want me to say, want me to do. Like, if you watch this, I please don't pay for it. And but you will see a clear example of how white people see us. With sinners, you see a clear example of how black men see us. Like, love yourselves. Love yourself, because they don't love us. They don't love us. They do not at all, not even a little bit love us. And they don't. They don't love us. And I'm not going to say all black men. White people, I don't, that's a cultural issue. So I don't know how deep the culture is within them to conquer and destroy. So even the nicest ones, I'm going to side eye all the time. I don't care. But like, I'm not going to say all black men. I haven't seen it. I've never, I be bringing up Russell and Sierra, but I say that as an aesthetic. Like, I mean, like, Megan Thee Stallion and her nigga look happy. Like, that's beautiful, and I hope that is real. Like, he looked like he got a little neurodivergency. The way he was sitting up there just humming and hawing over her spaghetti and fish, and how she talking about he just wants to eat that all the time. And I was just like, he got his little fixation food, and that's all she needs to make for him to be happy. And because she been through so much, she done lost so many people, she deserves it. I don't care what you niggas are talking about, because look what's out here in the world for us. They either gonna suck us dry and use us up and kill us off like in Sinners, or the white man is gonna suck us dry and use us up and like humiliate us. You can't have black men and you can't have white men making movies with us in it, because either we're going to get maimed, we're going to get humiliated, or we're going to get murdered. I don't care what you're talking about. You're not going to come on here and tell me I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. I'm not pattern recognitioning like I'm pattern recognitioning. I don't care what the fuck you're talking. So like, he uses his quick stop DNA test and finds out that that's his daughter, and so he snatches her up and takes her off into the desert, and he gonna turn her into a bounty hunter, and he wants the bounty hunter to kill her because he's a coward. And basically the Christmas adventurers, they convening over on the other side of the state or country, whatever, talking about how they want Lockjaw killed because he up here trying to play them for a fool and da 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 da. And I was just like, oh, y'all you are fools. All of y'all are fools for not seeing. Because I even told this to a client today. I was saying how, like, when you have a mindset where you only put people in the box and you don't recognize that people are multifaceted and that they can pivot and change up the patterns that you are recognizing and change into something else, then that leaves you with a weakness, because you're not prepared for motherfuckers to change up. That's why you have to release control and be vulnerable and open and allow other people to be vulnerable and open with you, so that you can give them a chance to want to be around you and want to show up for you and things like that. You can't rule with force and aggression and fear and think that every single person you use that on is going to react the same way just because you think that they're beneath you. Because that leaves you with a blind spot when you get to that one person that is not going to act the same way. And then you end up getting fucked up by that person because you're not considering that this person can evolve and change, because you're so stuck in your black and white thinking. I always use this example. You know how the BTK killer got caught? Because he had been writing letters to the police for years just because he wanted to be seen. He wanted the attention, all this other stuff. But 1 year, he decided that technology and all this other stuff, he wanted to send the letter on a floppy disk. He wanted to be cool and interesting and shit like that. And he wrote the police a handwritten letter and asked them if they could trace a floppy disk. These police are fixated. Like, a lot of people don't understand that when you get certain types of jobs, you like your job and you're fixated on what you like to do, you are not going to stop being fixated, and you are going to do everything you can to solve that case. You do not want humans to be obsessed with you, because when they're obsessed with you, they're going to do everything they can to get what they want from you. That's what fixation is. And so, of course, they said no. Why would they? So he sends the floppy disk. They read off the floppy disk the IP address of the whatever computer that this shit was saved on. And they found that motherfucker. And to this day, this nigga is flummoxed as to why the police would lie to him. Honey, what are you talking about? He just doesn't understand why the police would fucking lie to him. And that's the disease. That's the disease, is it creates a blind spot where you can't see when motherfuckers are coming. That's why I always tell people, if you're dealing with somebody manipulative and either you want to get away from them or you just want to play them and see what you can get out of them, all you got to do is pretend to be what they think you are. They think you some dumb bitch that don't know nothing. Act like a dumb bitch that don't know nothing until you find a weak spot to get what you want. But be careful, because once you get what you want, these motherfuckers might flip on you for playing them, and they might become fixated on your demise. So just be careful. Shit. But no, like why would you think that girl? So like the Christmas adventurers want to kill this nigga, right? And wants to kill. They said wipe the floor clean and da da da. So this nigga's being chased down and he don't even know it. And so like he's a coward and he don't want to kill this little girl. So he wants the bounty hunter to do it. The bounty hunter's like, I don't kill kids and da 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 da. So he tells him to take him to some other niggas that'll do it. And so he's making it sloppy. He's making it sloppy. He should have did it himself if he was a bad bitch like that. I mean, like, it's bad to do it, but it's like, if you gonna do it, then do it, nigga. Like, you a bad bitch. Like, fuck this nigga, you coward, sloppy motherfucker. You. So like they go, the bounty hunter takes the girl off to the other place, but then he feels bad and kills everybody at the place, and then the girl runs off in his car and shit, while this nigga Lockjaw thinks everything is fine. So he's driving back to the spot and stuff, and thinks that, oh, he's gonna be a part of the Christmas adventurers now and everything's gonna be fine. And here come the nigga that they sent after him and shoot him in the face, and his shit flip over and all this other stuff. And so then here come her dad, Bob. He's over here looking for her in the desert. He finds her. I'm not gonna go through how he finds her. He finds her and they hug and all. I just find it interesting how, just like in Sinners, the non dark skinned black women go off into the sunset and survive. I don't care if she got the letter from her mom at the end and we never see Tiana Taylor again. I don't give a fuck. Like, no, that's what they want. It was like an evolution into, we want all you bitches to look like this little light skinned mixed girl. Like, that's the only way we'll even slightly, and even still, we're not going to accept you fully because, like, ew. And so, like, come to find out, Lockjaw didn't die, right? So basically, like, his face is fucked up. And like, he's in a meeting with the Christmas adventurers and shit, talking about how Tiana Taylor like raped him and all this other stuff, and she was a cum guzzler, cum snatcher. And this nigga was like, you like, see, she was a semen demon? I was just like, oh my gosh. So they still trying to make these white people look stupid. Like, all their shit that they're doing, the secretive shit, this espionage, it looks stupid. It's not James Bond. Like, they're trying to tell you that these folks are dumb and it's not James Bond, but because it's in this white vehicle, like, why would you even notice that? Why would the white people that run shit, because that's who needs to see shit like this and understand it, is the white people that run shit. But you know, they don't. Why we can't? No, because I was pissed off at the fact that, like, cause we cape for white folks so much and we want their attention so much, just like any victim wants their abusers to love them. And like, all these decades of Beyonce low-key wanting a Grammy, singing about it here and there, like, all this other stuff. Won that Grammy of the year. Won that Grammy of the year. Won that Grammy of the year. And then when they gave her the Grammy of the year, they split that category, the country category, into two categories to keep the blacks separate. So you got your Grammy of the year, and the blacks got to be segregated. Who cares about these awards? I don't. They don't like us. Why can't we just like ourselves? You are fucking Beyonce. Who cares about Grammy of the... I want to room with my peers. These white people are not your peers. They don't like you. Oh, God. No, I'm very black and white with this. You don't like me or you're not. You're going to like me and you're going to treat me with respect and you're going to show up for me and you're going to be there for me and things like that. Or you're not. You're not going to half-ass in my face and act like and pretend and be like, oh, I love you, da, da, da. And then as soon as something happens to me, you are laughing gleefully inside. Like, I knew that bitch wasn't all that she thought she was. This bitch, da, 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 da. I don't, because those are the type of people that will undercut you and do some fuck shit to you one day if you give them too much vulnerability and too much space in your life. You're not clocking it. And the thing is like this complacency. I can't afford to be complacent because I've been complacent in the past with abusive ass people, and I've looked the other way and I've dissociated and woke up in some bullshit when the shit hit the fan. Woke up in some shit that was just horrible and evil, worse than when the shit first started. Worse than when the shit first started, and asking myself, how did I end up here? Like, even just being emotionally abused every day and then acting like it's not a big deal. Like, next thing you know, you waking up with stress cancer and you got cancer and shit because your body thinks it's a big deal. Your body thinks that it's a problem. And so your body is developing cancers and tumors around the stress that you're experiencing all the fucking time. And so now you have cancer because you kept looking the other way. You can't look the other way now, bitch, because you on chemo and throwing up, losing your hair and all sorts of shit because you allowed these crazy motherfuckers to rule your life. I can't look the other way. I can't act like I don't see what I see, because if I act like I don't see what I see, then I'm not going to process it and I'm not going to release it. Like, once I'm done with this shit, I've released it into the ether. It's done. I've let it go. I've expressed how I feel. You take it how you want to take it, and it is what it is. It's over. Like, I don't have to think about this anymore. But like, until I've vented and released all that shit, it's sitting on my chest. It's sitting on my, like, ever since I saw that meme of Sinners. And that motherfucker saying that the best character in the movie was that white bitch. And no, you know, because these are real people. So no bad juju to Haley Steinfeld, because we're taking parts. We're just taking parts and we feel like we're part of something. And so we are just going with it. This ain't about her. This is about the monolithic character that she played that white people are now claiming as their own. That's how they're conquering and claiming the movie as their own. And I just don't know what you want me to say. I don't know how you want me to feel. I don't know. You know, I just see things and I see patterns of things and I see those patterns evolve, and I don't want to take people's toys away. Like, do what you want to do, dress as the movie that you want to do, and for Halloween, and do all the things you want to do, but also at least be aware. Like, I go to Disneyland. I know it's an evil corporation. I know what they did, what ABC did, and took that man's show and how they funded Israel and all this other stuff. And I acknowledge that every time I go, and I still have a good time and, you know, say a prayer and go about my day, because if I don't acknowledge it, then I'm going to become complacent, and when some real bad shit happens, it keeps my eyes open. So I know that you're like this. I'm tolerating it because it makes me feel like I can be on a vacation for one day out of the month and not have to think about this shit and pretend I'm in fantasy land. And I'm also keeping my eyes open. So if you do some real fuck shit that, involves, like, we find out they got, child trafficking and all sorts of shit going on and stuff like that, I am more primed to step back when it gets really bad. I am more primed to step back when it gets really bad. It is what it is. And when it gets really bad to the point where it's affecting me on a regular basis and it's making me feel shitty to even think about Disneyland, I am primed to step back, but I'm not ready to step back yet. I'm weak-minded and I need that one day out of the month. And so, I'm going to admit that as well. I'm going to admit all my parts. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I don't have those parts inside of me that are challenging. And so that keeps me steady in this fucked up world, because you don't have to do anything about the parts that are challenging. You don't have to fix it if you don't want to fix it, but you have to acknowledge that they're there. You can lie to everyone else, but don't lie to yourself. It challenges you. It help, and that's what starts to build in you to help start to grow character, because one day you're going to do something about it, because it's going to build up and build up and build up as you see more bullshit happening, and it's going to challenge you to change and evolve eventually. So one day it's going to build up enough, it's going to challenge me to change and evolve. The day hasn't come yet. It's the holiday seasons. They got the Christmas decorations and the Christmas loot, and I want to be 5 again, and it's like 1990 something. What is it? 87, 89, 90, 91, 1992. And I'm on Main Street looking at the fireworks and the Christmas lights, and I'm just, enthralled, and that's where I want to be. Because that's where I want to be, and for right now, and eventually I might evolve and pivot one day. That's not today, but you need to face it. You can't lie to yourself and say that you're okay with this, because if you're okay with seeing some shit like that, then you're okay. Like I said in my Centers review, if you're okay with the fact that this nigga came home after 7 years with this bitch sitting here in stasis with a dead body in her front yard, and then she just let him throw her over a desk and fuck her from behind, no loving caresses, no kisses, no, like, I actually want to touch your body, and then call that sensual, that means that you're going to allow some random nigga to come into your life and do some shit like that to you. Like, you can say you like the movie, but just be cognizant that that's not okay. So if a random nigga comes into your life and tries to do that to you, that's your stopping point. Like, no, that was just a movie. Like, I don't want you coming into my life, leaving me with dead babies in my front yard and shit, throwing me over a damn table and fucking me from behind, and not, no foreplay. No, you don't even want to grab a titty, nothing. No erogenous zones. Like, how you know I was even wet yet? Like, you just stuck it right on in there. And what if I was dry and it hurt? Like, you didn't care if you had hurt me? Like, you don't want me to feel good with? Okay, I don't feel like it. I don't feel comfortable. And like I said in the movie, if the actresses didn't want, because none of the actresses were touched on like that, right? So I'm gonna go, because none of the actresses, like when he was on the white woman and like they was spitting on each, I don't know. It's none of my business. Like, he didn't touch her either. So because that there was that pattern established, I can't fully be like, oh, this is because she black. And no, it might be that the actresses just didn't want to be naked and they didn't want to be touched on. Like, I think the white woman got like a whole husband and shit. I think one me got a husband. Like, maybe they just didn't want to be touched on and be naked and shit. And that's a vibe. But the visual of it, like I said in that review, the visual of it still just made them look like receptacles. Nut receptacles. So to go from that and seeing how they will wheedle their way back into your life, suck you dry, take advantage, have you come to their party cooking chicken and shit, and not give you anything but some dick and a handshake. And then that's how niggas do it, to this, where white men just see us as monkeys in the jungle to put their penis. I'm done. Like, No, God's going to make that man that's my husband walk up to me, and he is going to pursue me, and I'm going to know who he is when he comes up to me, because I'm not doing a damn thing. I'm not talking to niggas. I'm not going to engage with niggas. I'm not asking niggas out. I'm not, because this is how they view us. Like, you can tell a nigga that I'm not having sex right now, and they perceive that as a challenge, not as an individual decision you're making for your body and yourself just because you want to. You know, it's a challenge for them to try to break them walls down so they can triumphantly get the vagina and then treat you however the fuck they want to treat you. Like, that's disgusting, and I refuse to be treated like an object, because when you're treated like an object, it's very easy for you to treat yourself like an object, just like this bitch Perfida, whatever the fuck her name is, in the movie, was treating herself like an object to the point where she couldn't even connect with her own child emotionally. Like, it was gone. Like, whatever sense of self, whatever individuality that was in her was gone, and I absolutely do not want to be involved. That's why you can't allow that shit, because you get treated like an object. You be okay with that, you're not going to see yourself anymore. You're not going to know who you are anymore. Like, it's not going to happen. Your brain is going to go into survival mode and say, well, the bad things don't happen when I just go along to get along, so we're just gonna go along to get along, even though, like, it's stressing us out and it's making us uncomfortable, because the bad things still happen even when you go along to get along. You're just this person's punching bags for whenever they get triggered by anything, by you, by being hungry, by their boss that day. They're gonna put it on you. So it doesn't matter if you go along to get along, they're still gonna take advantage of you, bitch. Like, and so you're going to be there going along to get along, dissociating and being complacent with your treatment, until one day you're going to look up because something really bad has happened. This nigga is killing you with a stake to the heart. Absolutely. Because if she hadn't have been complacent, she would have been in her little shack, taking a nap, sleeping through the night, not knowing what's going on, just wake up one morning and hear the news and be like, everybody down at the juke joint was murdered, because she wasn't there with her magical powers, because she was the one that set it off. She knew how to take care of the vampires and shit like that, so they wouldn't have known. They would have let them niggas back into the barn. Everybody would have been murdered. You know, maybe the whole town would have been murdered. Who knows? But the Native Americans knew, so Native Americans would have came back in the daytime. They just left it at night, so Native Americans would have came back in the daytime and started hunting vampires and shit. That's what would have happened. That's what would have happened. It wasn't just them. It wasn't just her knowing about the vampires. So she could have stayed home. She could have stayed home. She could have stayed home and slept through the night and minded her business with all her voodoo charms in her house, protecting her from all these evil entities that would have entered or tried to enter. And she would have known not to open the door to nigga, because she would have sensed it with her magical voodoo powers, hoodoo powers, and stuff like that. And it would have been grand, and she would have been alive. And then she might have joined the Native Americans the next day when they came back to hunt down the rest of them. And it would have been Annie and the Cherokee vampire hunters and shit. I don't know what tribe they were. Annie and the native vampire hunters, and that would have been the next movie. Bitch, I don't care. I would have wanted all them niggas to get murdered by them fucking Native Americans and shit. It would have been a glorious movie. That would have nipped everything in the bud. Fuck the rest of them niggas. Annie and the natives. They would have been out there killing everybody, bitch, together. And she would have been alive. And everybody else would have been dead, you bitches. And that would have been a good movie. It would have been so good. It would have magnificent. The white people wouldn't have liked it, you know, and that's the money givers. So we have to appease our abusers and shit. But damn it, oh God, that's the movie I fantasize about. Like, she just out on the plains in the western lands on a horse, riding around just like them black cowboys and shit, with her western hat and her hoodoo bobs and satchels around her waist, and the natives is out there protecting her and making sure she's safe, because our own niggas won't. and they're out there and they're killing vampires and other creatures of the night, and they're just and we could have had sequel after sequel. But see, no, when niggas are in charge, we just are sucked dry and murdered. When white men are involved, we're jungle monkeys that they can put their penis in, and we will kill. We protect them. They stand behind us. Like Bob. And we oh God. And we protect them. They're not gonna protect us. We're because we're warriors. You never see Regina Hall again. We don't. And then this nigga gets in, and so after they do the little meeting where like he says he was raped by, and the cum guzzler came for him, the semen demon. Oh, niggas ain't gonna like me. I don't care. You can't find a fault in nan shit I said. I don't care. I try not to hold it over niggas' heads when I know I'm right. But I feel it in my brain when I know I'm right. And I feel it in my spirit when I know I'm right. And I know you can't hold a nan thing up to the light and say that I ain't right. You just don't like it. You just don't like the truth. You don't like the fucking truth, and you can live in the dark, and you can live in your delusions and in your deceit. I just hope you don't wake up one day, like snap out of it, and there's a gun in your face. I hope that you don't wake up one day in the name of Jesus and you got stress cancer. I hope you don't wake up one of these days and you are being assaulted in any fucking way. I just hope that you just live in your delusions and sit in your house in the dark and be unbothered by people until you figure it out. I hope you don't invite the demons into your life that will take advantage of the lights being off in your head. Because that's what happens when you live in delusion and deceit. And God bless you. God, it's hard to wake up and see the light. It is. But you got to be present, and you got to be fucking awake and see what's happening, or you're going to end up like these bitches in these movies that are sucked dry and left for dead. And so they tell him he's a part of the Christmas adventurers, and he gets a new corner office in the building that's empty and no one else is there. But they cover it up by saying, well, you know, these offices, you can put your personal things in it, and people just come and go as they please whenever. Nothing's in the cubicles. Nothing's in the offices. Like, it's like an empty office building. Everything is empty except for phones. So he's talking about you can put your personal things in these. No, because you see, that's why when you're awake, you notice shit like that, so that type of shit doesn't happen. But because you've been waiting so long for these evil niggas to kiss your ass and say you're invited into the club with the popular kids, the popular racist, you're just so excited. Like, you think these motherfuckers that hate the mere sight of a skin color is going to let you be a part of their little club with your face looking like and I'm not trying to make fun of nobody's disability, because there's people out there with their face looking like that or some such a way, but we're going off the character of the evil niggas, and the character of the evil niggas say that they are not going to let you in their club with your face looking like that. They don't like differences. They want pure white. You think your face looking like that screams pure white. You do? But because you're so blinded and docile like a fucking lamb to the slaughter, you are sitting up here just happy to be here, just dissociative and deluding yourself into thinking that they like you. And you think that little fucking stupid ass story about being raped by the cum guzzler shit is gonna be enough for them to say you can join our club. Okay. So I was waiting for what happened to happen. He goes in the room and there's some invisible substance in the air and he just suffocates or some shit. I don't know. His face was turning really red and his eyes got really teary. And I'm going to assume he was suffocating, but he wasn't like gasping for breath. It was like, And I don't know what was happening. I don't. I'm gonna say he suffocated, and then they put his ass in the incinerator and burned his ass up. Like I just, that was the end of the movie. I don't know. It's horrible. It was a negative 100 out of 10. It was negative infinity out of 10. It's the most horrible thing I've ever seen in my life. I was triggered. I was traumatized. I was just so disgusted. I was looking down at my body and I was like, this is what these white people see when they look at me. Like, this is what white men see. Well, just some Sarah Bartman type. Like, they see me like they saw her. And like, I don't even want to be with a white nigga, but like, I just want to be left alone and shit most of the time. And but like, they don't leave me the fuck alone, and they be rude and fucked up and shit around me. And oh God, I watched Sinners. I was like, this is what these niggas see. It's just a vessel to take advantage of. Like, that's all they see. They don't see me like they see like Janine, like who likes to do the highlight magazines when she's at the dentist's office. And God, they don't see that I like art and like stuffed animals. You know what niggas do when you like, that's like when black women color their hair weird colors. They're just like, you trying to be white. They don't actually believe that you like those things. Why would I risk the integrity of because niggas be going above and beyond for white people. That's why that's especially black men when they do that, and they don't, they think that you don't actually like, because they do that. Because black men will cape and pretend to be something that they're not for the attention of these white people. That's why they killed off them 2 black women in that movie, and this nigga walked off with the white woman, because we need to incorporate white people somehow, some way, so involved in our black stuff. But the thing is, you could have did that without killing off them black women. You could have. And don't be like don't talk about the story like it's a true story. This is a choice that the writers who wrote this story made. This is a choice. They could have changed the story, but no, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. And then you go outside and you realize that as you're interacting with people, as you're talking to people, like deep down, they despise you. And you just don't know what to do with that. Like, every time I'm interacting with people, like especially white people, I'm just like looking for the telltale signs to let me know that they don't really like me. They don't really want to be talking to me. They want to invade my space and make me feel uncomfortable, and that's why they're trying to be cordial and nice to me, but they don't really want to talk to me. Niggas the same. Like, I'm waiting for the telltale sign to say that I'm an object, and you just want to stick your penis in me or siphon my magical things and for your own self, and then discard me. Like, I'm looking for the telltale sign. I always see it. Always. It's not something that oh, I'm mistaking a tone of voice or a twitch of the eye. No, it's obvious. It's, the little snarky shit. You giving a compliment, but then you're saying shit like, I wish I could be that such and such. Like, how you gonna give a compliment like, I like your hair, and then be like, I wish my hair could da 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 da. When I give compliments, I don't be like, oh, I wish I could dress like, I want to dress like me. I just like the way you styled your shit, but I wouldn't wear that. Like, sometimes I would, and I'll ask you, like, where'd you get that from? Because maybe I might want to buy it. But like, for the most part, like, I just think the way you styled it goes well with like your body and the way you look and like how you move around in the thing that you got on and shit like that. It matches. And so I'm like, that's cute. And so like one time I was at yoga, right? And this girl, she was gorgeous, dark skin, and she had on this lavender leotard, right? Like that bright purple lavender. And then she had red hair. Bitch, that shit was, the colors all went together, and it was so amazing. And I was like, that's so pretty. Like, I wouldn't dye my hair red, but because that wouldn't go good with my color. I've had red. I don't want to mess up my hair. In bright colors and stuff, red, but it wouldn't be that red as her hair was. I would have to bleach it. So no, but like on her, it was like looking at a painting. It was like looking at a fucking painting. I know what beauty looks like. but I don't want it. I don't want your version of your beauty. So when you make compliments like that, it just seems like you're hating on the slide. Like, so like I know what it looks like. It's not just that, it's other shit. I'm not going down a line because I'm feeling that shit right now, and so I'm not even gonna go down and try to think of shit and stuff. That was off the top of my head. But like, nah, like you go outside and you just feel the hate, and you just feel it, and you just feel it, and you just act like you don't feel it. The little rolling of the eyes when you make eye contact with people, so it's just like weird. Are them people that are like overly sexual or some shit? Some like that, like they just like graze you or like touch you weird and shit, and it just feels uncomfortable and stuff. Like it's either you a sex object or you're a weapon. Like you're not a real person and shit. You're a weapon that can be used against them, and so they have to protect themselves from you. Or you're a sex object to some people. That's something to take advantage of and use. And to other people, that's a part of you being a weapon and shit. And you gonna take they niggas eyes off of them, and it's fucking weird because I don't move around the world like that. Like looking at bitches and being like, look at her, she got all of this that I feel like I don't have, and so I hate her. I don't know that bitch. Like, why? I like what I have. Like, and then I hate when I can feel people trying to compete with me and shit, and I'm not trying to compete with you. I just really enjoy what I have and what I do, and I pour into it a lot. Like, I don't understand why you feel like you see me doing and being and saying and walking and talking, and like you feel jealous of that. And I'm not saying it's every fucking body, but like it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people as a black woman when you walking around in the world that you can feel the energy of their hatred. And it's energy too. Like I can feel the energy of your hatred. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know why I can feel it, but I can feel it. And I feel like a lot of black women are intuitive and magical like that, and they can feel the energy of motherfuckers' hatred too. And so I just watching shit like that just reconfirms. Because why would you 8.4 on IMDb or 8.2, whatever the fuck it was. Most movies on IMDb that are good movies, they don't go past a 6 out of 10 most of the time. This motherfucker has an 8.4 because you sat up here and you put out this white man, black woman, jungle bunny, pornography. I hate it. I don't. And so I'm just going to sit back and observe. What more will come out in them denigrating black women and making us seem like we're nothing? And like, what more will we have to endure? I don't know. Until we love ourselves enough to really just say fuck everybody and let's live our own lives together in a commune somewhere, on a continent somewhere, a country somewhere, all together as black women, and just, I don't know, maybe we can invite some niggas, because some of us are heterosexual. We're cursed to need the penises that grow out of these niggas. And so like, invite some, they have to pass a thorough examination, psychological examination and shit, in order to be on the island, the country, to be in the country. They gotta pass and then we would just have an all black woman Wakanda country, and it'll just be so magical, and we don't need the rest of these. We don't need the rest. I'm tired. And the white people are going to be so mad because they just cannot stand when black folks get together and don't invite them to the cookout because they abusers. They need to be a part of everything that we do and conquer, control, all that bullshit. But we won't let them in because we're going to have vibranium too. They can't get in, just like they can't get in Wakanda, because Wakanda is the only place that has vibranium, except for the Latinos in the water, the Latino mermaids. And we're gonna thrive and survive, nigga. Like, I thrive and motherfucking survive. Look, it's pink. It's so pretty. It's, ah. That's my review. I don't know what to tell you. A lot of y'all that watch this probably ain't gonna like it, but a lot of y'all been watching my videos for a while, so you know, y'all know who I am. Like, I don't know. The ones that been watching for a minute, thank you so much, but you know who I am. I haven't changed. Like, I feel what I feel and I say what I say, and I try my best to be honest to how I feel. Like, this ain't pretend. Like, I don't put on airs or like commercial voices, and you know, this is just who I am. Like, oh, my feelings are hurt. I'm gonna go watch cartoons. No, I'm triggered. I'm gonna go watch cartoons. Something happy, something slice of lifey, you know, just something peaceful. I'm gonna go watch cartoons. I hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know what you thought. Later days.